landing pages are only useful for ad campaigns. That is absolutely not true, and I'm going to talk you through why that is. Hello and welcome to Engage and Thrive, also known as EAT, your coffee catch up with me, your host Taelon, where we will go through common problems and hurdles that come up in business, marketing and advertising and try and demystify them. I know firsthand how complicated and confusing it can seem with all the different acronyms and all the things to do in business. So let me try and help you be better in business. First things first, let's start with grabbing a coffee. So the reality, a lot of people think a landing page you only should be using for Google pay-per-click or meta ads. So if you're running a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad, but actually you're just limiting yourself because there is so much potential of how you can use a landing page that can actually help optimize your sales funnel or your business if you want to showcase features, and even down to how you can optimize your target customers. So if you've got several different target customers at different touch points, or you're trying to A/B test a target customer group, you can use landing pages for all of that, which I'll go through further when we're going through the takeaways. As always, let's go through vocab. And the first one to go through is PPC. So that stands for pay per click. This is an advertising way of doing things. So you're actually only paying when someone physically clicks on your ad. That's for another episode when we can talk more about different ad platforms. The next one is CTR, so the click-through rate. So the percentage of people that have actually clicked through from your ad or from your post. Again, in the context of landing pages, you may be looking at the conversions of people clicking on content you're doing organically or in an ad to go through to that landing page. The next one is SEO, which stands for search engine optimization, which we're going to get a bit more into in the takeaway. And you may have heard me refer to it when we're talking about website content. The next one is CTA. So that is your call to action. So what are you actually putting on your landing page for someone to do something with it? So is it a sign up now or learn more, etc. The next one is segments. So you may, when we go into it further, talking about the different types of landing pages, you may use your audience segments to decide landing pages you want to create. And this may be based on geographical locations, behavior, said features, or your target customers, which nicely leads me into the final one, ICP. So your ideal customer profile. I talk about this time and time again, and I'll never get bored of talking about it. But when you're thinking about who is your ideal customer that you want to attract or you are attracting and what you're doing around them. Today, we're going to cover off 3 key takeaways. The first key takeaway is user cases for landing pages. So you can have lots of different user cases for landing pages. And the thing you want to think about is what's the goal you're trying to achieve by having that landing page. So as an example, you may use landing pages for lead generation. This may be sign up for a free trial or download an ebook or download a checklist or whatever it is. And again, you don't need to be using this for a paid advertising campaign. You can have lead generation that you're then using social content to drive people to. That might be your link in bio. That might be the link that you're sending indirect messages. That might be the link that your sales team is using as outreach methods to actually get people engaged with your product. Another one you may think about is a product or service promotion. So do you have a new feature that you want to highlight or a new menu? Or something that's seasonality that actually you're just going to have it for a short period of time, but you really want to shine the light on it. And you might not necessarily want that as a hero piece on your website. So you would use it as a landing page, which you can drive traffic to from your website and have it as different sub pages of your website. But again, you're using that as a leverage for any of your social content or your email marketing or whatever you're doing to actually then focus on that seasonality, that menu item, that product feature, that service offering. And the final example of a specific landing page may be for events. So you can use this in twofold. Either if you are having or hosting a webinar or a live, you may have a landing page that actually talks about the live in more depth. So again, you could be posting on social media to say, join us for this live or join us for this webinar, and giving just a snippet of information. So if someone wants to read more about that, they can go through to your landing page, read about the speakers you have attending, look at the timings. If you're running an all-day event, someone might not want to join an all-day online event. So actually they could pick the timings that they want to join in. Or if you're physically going to an event, you may have an event landing page to showcase where you're going to be, where's your event stand, how do people contact you, how do they find out more. And even when you're at that event stand, you could have a event registration page. So anyone you interact with in person, you get them to sign up on your event registration page. A great way of data capture there and then in the moment. Number 2, which is SEO impact of landing pages. So typically when you're using landing pages for ad campaigns, what your developer or what you may do in the back end of your website is actually put that page as a non-crawl page. And what that means is you're telling Google, don't serve this up if someone searches for us in Google, right? And because you may be A/B testing different pages, you may have lots of different campaign pages for your advertising. However, if you use landing pages in an organic way, so actually, let's talk about the context of you're a hotel and you may want to target 2 different demographics. You may want to see which is biting more, so actually which target demographic you want to go after, or actually you have an offering for both of those different demographics at the different time of the year. So if you're a hotel and you offer rooms, so you're offering the same service offering, but one of your target demographics is romantic couple getaways, and the other target demographic is busy remote workers who just need a city stop, right? On your website and on your main pages, you typically wouldn't be saying from romantic couples to city workers, because if someone's reading that, they'd be like, that's 2 different people. But on your landing pages, you could dial up your features and the parts of your hotel to appeal for the romantic couple getaway or appeal for the business workers. And then what happens with those landing pages being organically ranked with Google is you can then focus on specific keywords for your demographics, right? So your website is doing one piece around your focus keywords and who you're trying to appeal to. But then those actual landing pages, you're getting what's called long tail keywords. So romantic getaways for couples in Manchester city centre. And this is a really nice way of having SEO rankings and gradually building up your keywords without having to do lots of forced blog content or press releases or loads of paid advertising. And I think this is also like a misconception within a misconception. A lot of businesses may think they need to do blog content when actually what they want to do is dedicated landing pages. So they really want to talk about their features or their product or their services or their special menu. You don't need to release a blog for it. You can release a landing page around it. Let's use another example. Say you are an accountant, right? You may have different demographics that ask you for services, and those different demographics may have very specific questions about what they need. So if you are a startup and it's your first time submitting accounts, you may have a lot of questions and what's involved and all of that. Whereas you may have clients that are large corporations who just need very simple, how much does this cost? How long does it take to turn around? Again, you're an accountant from your website. Your landing pages could then focus on your 2 different demographics. And again, you're then ranking for accountant services for a startup, accountant services for a large corporation. What I would say with all of these is obviously don't start creating loads of random landing pages, because you still want your focus and you still want your target demographic. It's just thinking about how you can use these to actually rank for other keywords and images, videos, etc. that you want to put on those landing pages. That, I suppose, the way of saying it is helping your SEO ranking and helping what you have, adding value to your website as opposed to keyword stuffing and overloading. And number 3, which is customer journey of your landing pages. So this is another one where you want to kind of like bring together all of what we've discussed. What are your user cases of why you want to create a landing page? What is your intent around it? So any of your focus keywords, and then how can you use a landing page to leverage what you're already doing? So if you want to use your landing page for your lead generation, then when you're thinking about designing your page and the customer journey, the landing page you create for your lead generation, so potentially the first time someone's reading information about you, you may want a lot more top level, who you are, what you do and why, right? But then if you're thinking about you've already had someone buy a product or service from you, and actually what you want to do is get their thoughts and feedback, potentially get them to buy again. That landing page that you then put, you don't need to put so much detail about who you are and what you do, because they already know, they've already bought your product or service. So that landing page would look and feel different from a customer journey perspective. And the best landing pages are when they are designed specifically around those customer journeys and understanding how much information to put on at which touch point the customer's coming in. So even down to the buttons, the language you're using. Is it more that it needs to be really lightweight because you know they're going to be reading it on mobile? Is it that you're actually using your landing page for people to refer onto someone because you're offering a bonus for referrals? Whatever it is, but really understanding that customer journey, the objective of your landing page, and then actually tailoring it around that. So that's really the design focused approach of the customer journey of your landing pages. So as a wrap up, basically, you should use landing pages. And actually, I think a lot more people should consider landing pages as part of their business and marketing strategy and understanding what should be on your core website and then what you should be doing as landing pages for campaigns. And when I say campaigns, I don't necessarily mean paid media campaigns. I mean campaigns in terms of themes, focus, your target audience, how, what are you showcasing? Is it a launch? Is it a product or service? Is it a new menu? Is it seasonality? And really thinking about the why for them, because landing pages can really, really help from an organic perspective for everything you're doing in your business and marketing. But thank you for joining me for another episode of Engage and Thrive with your host, Taelon, and see you next week.